Welcome back to the Hypervision Podcast, episode 6. I'm your host, Drew. Noah, how we doing today? We got our great co-host.
We're doing well. I'm ready for another podcast, man. Excited.
Yeah, we've got I don't know if it's I guess I would say a good one. Noah has no idea what we're doing today because I won't tell him. I don't even really know. I just have one word in my head that I'm going to try to turn into a 45-minute plus podcast. So we'll see how this goes.
I promise you, we are better planned usually.
Well, no, this was the plan. This was my plan, was to just kind of leave it as an open discussion.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I wanted to get the raw. I don't know if emotion's the word. Now I'm just thinking of steak because I said that. It's not steak. I don't know, but just the raw discussion. That's what I want. The meat and bones of the discussion.
Raw and steak shouldn't be in the same sentence, but okay, let's go with it.
Well, okay, we can start with that. How do you like your steak cooked?
I actually don't mind a little bit of pink, so I guess medium rare?
Yeah, that's fine. That's the good answer.
Or medium rare, medium, I guess.
That's the good answer. Anything other than that is beef jerky.
Yeah.
So anyway, you might have seen right there. Today we have a smoothie again. It's kind of settled a little bit now. It's been a while, but it's a prime smoothie. Put the orange prime in there, a little bit of frozen fruit, and some chocolate protein powder because I've skipped working out for like the last 2 weeks, so that's gonna make up for it.
Oh boy. Still another week gone by. Still haven't found it, so still trying.
Yeah, the one by me just stocked up, and I decided to get 16. So I might have an addiction.
I'm gonna have to freaking pay for shipping. You have to send it to me.
I'm just waiting for actually I still have a bottle right here. I actually have 4 bottles on my desk. One's grape, one blue raspberry, and then lemon lime and tropical punch. They're all fairly full because I just made a video with Jameson on them. But I think eventually when our Cornhole Legacy sponsorship kicks in, I'll be able to like suffice how much I'm spending on these.
Can't do it with a straight face, man.
Well, I mean that's what they are, you know. They're Cornhole Legacy. They actually commented on our video today and said, at this point, should we just change our name to Cornhole Legacy?
Just do a quick rebrand.
Mm-hmm. I mean, with how much traction we're getting on this podcast, it's like, I mean, they're just gonna be known as Cornhole Legacy, so they might as well.
Yes.
That's good stuff. Before I kick off into the main subject, you got anything you want to talk about first? If you have a random topic in your head.
No, I think last week's podcast was awesome. I liked the music that we talked about. I feel like that could be multiple podcasts. I know we mentioned how we would think of stuff afterwards, and I thought of like a lot more songs and genres and whatnot. That's been good. Nothing really else to mention here. Trying to think. I watched All-Star Weekend activities, and that was pretty much the slam dunk contest was not good. Yeah, 3-point contest. Yeah, it'll be topping. Cool, good for him. Dayton alum. Shout out. 3-point contest was okay, and the Cavs won the skills challenge, so that was pretty cool. But no, so that's really about it. Did you happen to listen to I didn't send it to you. I just told you on the last podcast. The that piano, that the Rivers Flow in You song. No. I should send it to you.
All right. So over the edit, when I listened to it, I was like, oh yeah, I'll listen to that tonight when I'm done editing. And then I never did. And then listening back to the podcast today when it came out, I was like, oh yeah, there's that one. But yeah, I'm in the middle of listening to the podcast and I've forgotten since then. I actually haven't even finished that one yet. I've been lazy today. But because like you said, with like forgetting and then like 1 or 2 days later, like wanting to like, oh, I should have said that one on the podcast. I can't remember what it is now again, but like 2 days after we filmed that one, it hit me. I was like, oh, I should have talked about that.
Yeah.
Now it was
for sure.
Coldplay. That's what it was. Coldplay.
Oh, okay.
Classic. Yeah. They've got a lot of good songs. Fix You, I would put up there. This is one of my top songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, but that's really about it. Nothing else I really want to mention off the top of my head.
Okay.
Not really.
No,
Yeah,
just
I'm good to go.
before I
Yeah, for sure.
take the wheels for a little bit.
Go for it, man.
All right. So my topic, and I'm gonna try to do this without making any references besides right now to The Rock. It's about I can't now I'm actually gonna say it. No, okay. How do I say it without saying the words he said? The topic is like Drive. You know, I was about to say
Oh.
I literally I couldn't say those words out loud. I couldn't do it.
Oh man.
I'm gonna try to get through this without making any references to The Rock.
Okay.
Okay, so no, like this is like something that I guess been interested with for a few years. Um, and I guess it's more of like on a psychology side of things, just like what motivates people and what like pushes people, and kind of like I guess what makes them who they are, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
There's a lot of TV shows where I'm watching it and like, and I know they're fake people, obviously, but um, it's just like I find myself really invested in it when they like go inside of like what makes that person what they are, like the backstory of people going through all that. And even video games. I just finished playing Final Fantasy VII Remake like literally 3 hours ago. Um, and that has one of the best stories of a game I think I've played, just because of how in depth that stuff goes, of like the psychology of the main characters in that game. Um, but I feel like I've never really, as much as I've been interested of like, oh, that's really cool, of just like seeing like what goes on in people's lives and seeing how it makes them who they are. I've never really taken time to like actually analyze stuff like that or like research more into it or anything like that to like actually be able to talk about it like something like this. And I'm gonna go ahead and do it without any of that research. So we'll see where that ends up. So I guess I'll get your side of it, stuff like I don't know how like if you've ever looked into stuff like that or thought about that, if you have thoughts for it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I there's multiple stuff that I'd like to do some research on, but yeah, this is really good. This is one of them. I guess, are you saying you're just curious basically what drives and motivates people to do what they do, or as in like, is that kind of what you mean?
Right. Yeah. Because this is good. Now that you're asking questions, it's helping me like, turn the cogs in my brain again from where I was at before with this. Because it kind of goes
Because
back like with coaching and stuff like that. One thing I feel like I know the sport I coach pretty well. So like I can be like the tactical kind of coach, but I don't think that's my top thing. I would say, at least in the situation I'm in currently as an assistant, um, I'm more of like the motivating coach. I'm just there. I'm keeping morale high. I'm trying to make sure everyone's motivated. And I feel like I really dug into that this past year. So, and I think that was because in the back of my mind, I want to see, like, find out ways to motivate people, see what goes on with them, see how, cause like it's different for everyone, everyone has different stuff. Um, but yeah, like with coaching, at least, I lost my train of thought, but I'm getting there.
no, this is good. This is good. Coaching. What motivates you? I don't want to say your end goal necessarily, but kind of just um, where it's taking you and where you are now, and then what kind of, so what does motivate you to do that? I mean, why are you motivated to be a motivator? I guess is my question.
Good question. Um, I don't know. I think it's more like, I guess personally for me, I mean, I won't sit here and tell you I'm not selfish or have an ego, but I do like truly want the people around me to feel better and try to succeed and all of that. Um, so I think that's part of it. Like I want to do what I can to push people. And I think it's easier, at least in my eyes, I think it's a lot easier to try to help somebody else than it is to go out and help yourself. Um, so maybe part
Yeah.
of that is me like just being like, I'll just go work on someone else. It's easier. It's not my life. I can just give them the right words and everything and push them a little bit. Um, so that probably might be a reason. Um, and I think if I'm relating that back to coaching kind of a little bit, it's like I can see in my life where that kind of stuff went wrong and where I got burnt out from soccer and then quit. Or just like as a player, just like things like in my game that I wasn't good at. But now that I'm watching and I see it more and I'm older and I've experienced things, I can go back in, talk to those people about it, get them to see it, get them to work around it, get better at it. And then through that, maybe, once you get to know them, you get to hear out like what their goals are, what they want to do with the sport, what they want to do in life, and just keep pushing them to do that every day. So that's probably part
Yeah.
of why I want to do motivation stuff.
And I think there's a fine line where, I know for me, it's like, I'm not, how do I want to put this? I'm trying to prove people wrong, but not like friends and whatnot too. It's like, like for work purposes or stuff like that. Like something that motivates me is my family, right? Like they just like, they're super encouraging and whatnot, but like they motivate me. Like I know where my parents are now, and I know what I'm doing, and like that motivates me. Like I know, like hey, like I know, like they've taught me that I can, excel. Not, I don't want to say better than them, but be a little more, I guess, well off. I don't know. I don't want to put it in like, I don't want to. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but stuff like that. Um, that's what motivates me. But I'm not. There's a fine line between trying to prove people wrong, but you're not trying to like. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know if you're kind of seeing where I'm going with this. I had an idea of where I was going, but then I kind of lost it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I think maybe I'm not going to word this right, but what you might be thinking of is like, kind of leaving things better than you had it, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
kind of like, coming into the world, leaving it better than the way you saw it and where you started at. Um, which I mean, it's the same way of saying that stuff, but yeah, it's a tough way to say it, to want to be better than your parents, because,
Yeah.
at least in our lives, they've given us so much that like to say, oh, I'm going to do better than you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It
Yeah.
sounds like you're almost putting them down, but it's like, well, you
Yes.
gotta like, no, you gave me this much. I'm going to do even more with that because of this opportunity you gave me.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. No, I definitely agree there. So yeah, so coaching for you is so coaching would be one, and then would you say like would your work, like what kind of motivates you to do that, or I mean,
So I won't even lie. I think I would say this to my father's face, who was my boss. I think I've put more effort into this than my actual job.
yeah,
Not to say I don't put because I've put in a lot of effort with this, so that's not, I'm not putting that down. Um,
but I kind of feel like that's just kind of, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I just feel like that's kind of just your nature, where it's like, hey, like, man, I want to do something, like, hey, let's try it, and let's put some, let's put some time into it, it's like, and I don't want to, and you're like, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, like let's like actually try it and do it and see if it works, and I want to just keep at it. Which is awesome, but I mean, so
yeah, no, I mean that's right. I would say I'm very big on like passion over
yes,
um, like what's the word I'm looking for? Not monetary thing, I guess monetary, but like it's another word where you put items over material, like passion over like material.
material
Yeah,
materialistic.
yeah. Um, I would much rather have an paying job that I absolutely like, at least really like, and have a great balance between my work life and my personal life than having a insanely good paying job where I just drag myself to work and I it just sucks. And I don't really get much free time after that. So I think that is what the reason I think I put, a little bit more effort into the stuff outside of work than I do inside of work is because it just in my mind, I care more about what my actual life is outside of work.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. And it's interesting you bring that up because I know I don't know personally, but I know there are people are more likely out there that wouldn't mind that, like the opposite of what you said, where it's like, hey, I want it, where it's almost like the motivation is the monetary gain, where they would rather hate their lives and make a ton of money and then do that, which is really interesting. Um, but yeah, it's really interesting to think about, um, kind of what motivates you and stuff. So
And I mean, I get the other side of it, like, because when I had my first job in sales out of college, that was where I fully was faced with, all right, which path am I going to take out of these two?
mhm.
Because with that sales job, I could have made some decent money with it, like for like an entry level job.
Yeah,
Um, but it was getting to the point where I was I was hating the job. It wasn't that fun. It was draining me personally and like emotionally, and I was just like, I can't, like, I would rather do a job that isn't what I went to school for that many years. Um, it's not really what I want to do for the rest of my life. I would rather find a job where I'm content. I enjoy my work, balance work life. Um, yeah, and then very quickly within 3 months, I was like, yeah, all right, I'm out. Peace. I'm not doing this. So now I
yeah,
have a much more stable job. Um, at the base level, it actually does pay the same, but that's only because I'm not making sales. So I don't get the extra sales commissions now. So that's where I lose out on the money, but I'm completely fine with that. Plus I'm living at home currently, so I don't have to worry too much because Andrew won't come back from Europe, and hopefully he does. We'll see. He's on the good side currently. He's on the west side. Yeah, the west side. So currently he's out of any issues for now. So we'll see. But yeah, that'll be a few months before I move out. So I don't have to worry about, you know, rent and all that stuff.
the fun stuff.
Yeah, all that fun stuff. But then yeah, I mean, I guess with like job stuff, I'm more of in an in-between stage, I think. I think my dad knows I won't stay with him for an insanely long time.
Hmm.
I think he knows at some point I want to get back into sports or just whatever I find that I really like. We'll see. I still honestly don't know what I want to do because I've thought about it like um, working in the sports industry. Parts of me, I would love it. But then the other part is that work-life balance. I don't know. Just because if I work for a sports team, I know I have to work around their schedule and their games are at night and all that stuff. And it's random days, weekends and everything. So
Yep.
that's where I'm like, man, maybe I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I'm going to quickly learn that that is going to be very interesting. Like right now, it's fine. It's strictly 9 to 5. What I'm doing and whatnot. It's been fine. I've been able to have that balance, but once the season kicks in, I feel like it's gonna turn upside down, and I don't really know if I'm prepared for it yet. So so we'll see. But yeah, I understand what you mean by that. So I mean,
uh,
but I hope you get back into sports. That'd be sick.
It'd be fun. I don't think I'll be
I
able to
can't.
coach full time. I don't think I would find a job that would pay enough. I mean, I guess that's actually the only reason I wouldn't. If I got paid enough to coach full time, I 100% would. Um,
Yeah.
but other than that, I don't think I probably will because it'd be a high school job. And that's, at least to my knowledge, not going to pay enough to be my only job. I don't
I
really
would
want to
say
work at
more
a
than
school because I feel like you kind of have to for that.
yeah. It's almost like a coach slash teacher thing.
Yeah, I'd rather
Yeah.
not. You get summers off though. Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I guess that all kind of comes back into um, a thing that kind of drives me, at least that I've noticed, is that I'm very big on balance. Uh, so I would much rather,
It's very key. It's very key.
mhm. I would much rather lean into things that are my passions than anything else. Um, which is why I guess I'm putting a lot into this and, just like streaming for fun and all that stuff. It's just because like that's kind of the job I like this, like streaming, doing a podcast, making YouTube videos. That's 100% like a social media kind of life is the life I would want, like as my job. So even though I know it's like a 0.2% chance of happening, I'm just going to go ahead and act like it is one because why not? Like, why not just act like I can have that life? Because technically I can. Like, this costs at this point now barely anything to do. And then it's just a chance for me to hang out with you, talk about things, talk to other people. Um, Making YouTube videos is just fun because it's this fun opportunity to just go out and make videos with my friends, do stupid things, stuff like that. Streaming, all it is I'm already playing video games a lot. I just press one button and press stream. That doesn't change anything.
Nope.
So I'm at least, I'm experiencing the things that I want to as my life. And it's not really taking anything out of me. So it's like I'm doing my passions that I want to do. But like I'm just living my life and it's not taking anything out of me. And I think that's big of what I'm doing right now to try to help, like I guess my mental health makes it easier on me if I'm doing those things.
No, I totally agree. Mental health is huge. It's something I've been trying to work on, that balance. But no, I totally agree. I just and I think you're very good at it. And like I said, whenever you're passionate about something, um, you tend to always go towards it, which is awesome. I would love to see you become a full time content creator. That'd be sick.
It's really easy these days.
I'm telling you, man. If we would have been this age around whenever like YouTube, not when YouTube first started, but whenever it like started to hit that like peak, dude, man.
I'd be in the Sidemen, bro.
I always tell myself, man, it's like, dude, what if? I don't really like what ifs, but it's like, man, just think about it. If you hit like, just think about if you hit like peak Fortnite. Sidebar here, sorry, but I don't know. That's just
Isaac, because that's when I was living with Isaac was peak Fortnite, and he was insane at Fortnite. Yeah, I'm actually gonna check my TikTok real quick because I was really close to 10K. Okay, so my Prime video is on 9,991 views on TikTok. We're almost at 10,000.
heck yeah.
I'm pretty much famous there. But also TikTok is a place where multiple people get like over 800,000 views a day.
Yeah, it seems like TikTok's a platform where people have grown pretty quickly.
Well, yeah, because people just sit there and scroll, scroll, scroll. And I mean, I did it too.
Yeah.
It's hours and hours on there. Tyler sent me like 7 TikToks in the last 35 minutes. Oh, so I'm curious, like for you, what do you think are like the things that like are your driving factors or like, what keeps you going? Like what are like like I said, balance is like a big key thing in my life. Like what would that stuff be for you?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mentioned my family is one that I feel like that's really motivation for me. Um, I really strive to get that balance too. I need that like couple, I would say a couple hours, but it's usually not a couple hours, but I need that time where I can like de-stress or not de-stress, decompress. That's the word I'm looking for. Just kind of do nothing pretty much. Just kind of like a reset. But no, what else motivates me? I'm just trying to think. Um, I mean, I wouldn't say Terry, I'm trying to think of other things. I mean, this is the thing. It's like I haven't thought about it. Sat down and like thought like, what really does motivate me. And the only thing that comes to my mind is just family. But
So yeah, what do you think with that? That you saying right there, like, oh, like I don't really take the time to think of it.
Yeah, and that's an issue. I mean, it really is. I mean,
Yeah. So like you said, that decompress time, I think like I'm getting back or trying to get back to that is really important to have that. So
yeah,
quarantine, like early, like right when quarantine started and all that stuff, and like March 2020 or whatever that was. The first like month or two of that was for some reason, somehow weirdly, like my best mental health. And all of that. I mean, maybe it was because like I had freedom to do whatever I wanted technically. Like I didn't have to leave my house. It was great. I was allowed to sit inside all day and eat Doritos and play Xbox.
yes,
And I could have whatever sleep schedule I wanted to because I didn't have any Zoom classes to attend at that point. I was just doing the homework assignment a week pretty much. So like my sleep schedule at that point was I would go to bed at 6 a.m. and wake up at 2 p.m. And when I wake up at 2 p.m., take a shower. I still took a shower every day, don't worry. I was good there. Take a shower, get ready, eat a little bit of food. I never really eat when I wake up. And then, sometime like Jameson's usually on right when I get on after that. So like 2 to like 6 or 7, we would play and then go eat dinner. And then other people would be on after that. And it'd be like a 3-hour period after that where I'd play with people like that I talk to every day. And then after that, midnight hits. And then from like midnight to 2, I'm playing with you after all of our friends are off. And
in the
then,
casino.
yeah. And then from like 2:30 to like 5:30 or 6, I just had all of that time to myself.
Yeah,
So I was either just playing a game by myself, watching TV, just chilling, like on my phone. It was good. I think it was good to have that time to myself. And then, like
yeah,
2:30 to 6 is a really long time to have to yourself. That's also when I was grinding for Damascus on COD. So that might have been like my lowest mental health also during
yes,
that little period. But no, I can remember like to this day, um, like watching a TV show. Like I binged it in 2 nights. And it was just like some of like the best feelings I've had. It was just like I had no worries in the world. I had the complete time to myself to just sit down at 2 a.m. after getting off of my Xbox. And it was just like, this is nice. Relax,
yeah. In those moments, sorry, go ahead.
As I was saying, like now, like with having a job, coming back, trying to fit in all these things now because I'm trying to be healthier and do more things this year. So, like I get off of work, come back and chill for like 20, 30 minutes. And then I'm supposed to go work out. And then I want to come back, but I also want to like make food and not get, microwave meals or McDonald's every day. So it's a 2-time killing things. But then I also want to play video games with my friends and talk to them. But then I also need to get to bed at some point, but I also want to take like, that hour or 2 to myself. And it's getting tough, trying to find that time.
Yeah.
Because I
No,
also,
I def.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
So I've used it once. I saw it on Instagram at like 3 a.m. one time. So I think that's why I bought it. It's the Mind Journal. I've used it one time. It's like it says it's supposed to be like a journal for guys, which means it's cool. Sometimes it's really hard to get out of it. I don't know. It's got like a ton of prompts in there. Mostly just supposed to be like I don't know, guys going through things. You just write them down. So trying to do that. I've had this for a month. I've written in it once. So trying to get better with that. That's also just down to the fact that, I mean, I know I definitely have the time somewhere in my day to do that kind of like reflection time. I'm just not making time for it because I'm looking for other excuses, because I want to ask you this too, because now you're in the same boat as me. but yours is a little different because I'm still at home. But do you think it's been harder to kind of like find that time, take that time and all this stuff, and focus on yourself since you've been living by yourself?
Yeah, I think I was going to mention that actually. So, I thought living by myself, I would have more time, and being closer to work, I'd have more time, to myself. But now I'm finding, those couple hours that I get at night, instead of it being that time to decompress, which I still think it is a decompression, but I'm not necessarily reflecting. I'm using that time to decompress, but that's usually like either watching TV or that's playing video games, stuff like that. Like I haven't done it in a while where like I've actually like just kind of sat down, no electronics, and just really just, kind of just talk, not talk, but like thinking, just thinking through things and whatnot, and like do an actual reflection. And I thought I would have more time to do that while I was alone. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been, there's stuff, I got to do, now I have to, I have to cook. I have to do other things. There's stuff I like to do outside of, besides just coming home from work and then, immediately cooking dinner, wanting to do something by myself, and then going to bed. It's like there's very little time, and yeah, so I would say I'm in the same boat really. And it's still, I mean, it's still happening. I need to definitely work on that for sure. But I'm lucky enough to have a few hours to myself. But like I said, they're not being spent in reflection. It's being spent, just playing video games and doing stuff that I would like to do during the night. But yeah, so
I feel like a little bit probably that's like a little bit of that is like FOMO, because like if you say you take a night off, like, oh, I'm not gonna play Xbox tonight. You can't say that.
yeah, I know. Yeah, especially with some of the games too. It's like, usually play with friends or whatnot. Like that's another thing. But yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Because I feel like, I don't know, mostly for me, for the majority at this point, playing games is more of just like, it's just the social aspect of it. Like I mostly just do it so I can talk to my friends. But like
Mhm.
also like I enjoy playing video games. But like that's the main reason I think I did this. Like I literally bought an Xbox just so I could play FIFA with you guys.
Yes,
Like
which we
I
can't
think
play
I
with
value
Tyler,
that a lot.
but
Yeah. Because I think a big thing I have is like, see, I don't think living on my own is something I really ever want to do. It just doesn't, like, that's not how I want to do things. Like I want everything to just kind of be connected. Like I'm always doing what I can to keep things, like anything I can, if I can connect it, I'm going to. So like when I lived with you guys this year, I was barely ever in my room. I was almost always in someone else's room hanging out because I was just like, I don't care if I play on my Xbox right now, like a FIFA, whatever, COD, whatever. Literally, the amount of times I pulled our family room table and chairs into your room, and I just played Football Manager while you didn't even know I was
oh
there.
my goodness, I remember
I
that.
was just playing Football Manager. I was just like,
Yes.
I think that's me. Is like I just want to have that like connection, I guess, with people.
Yeah, I was just chilling playing Assassin's Creed, and you're just playing Football Manager.
Yep. I was like Tyler being there playing Forza. I just go in there, just sit on his chair, and I sometimes just scroll through TikTok or he's scrolling through TikTok. I didn't really care. He didn't care, I don't think. Um, so yeah, like that. And then like if you guys ever come to town, I always try my best to, get my friends together because I'm like, well, I mean, they're already here. You're here. Why not just, let's all hang out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, see, and that's interesting too. I don't want to get too much into gaming, but I actually don't mind solo gaming, and if that's the time that I take to, as my gaming time, and that's like my decompression, whatever, like I don't mind it. I don't need the social aspect. It's nice, I love it. It's good from time to time, but I don't mind hopping on an Xbox and playing a game by myself if you know if you have that game. But I understand what you mean though with the social aspect.
I'd say that that's big, is finding the right game for that. Because
Yeah, for sure.
just with the little bit of gaming we'll talk about, single games just suck these days. Sometimes it's tough to find one.
Yeah, it's tough, but currently I
Yeah.
have a little bit.
I would say
yes.
like, everyone decompresses in a different way. So like what
Yes.
worked for you might not work for me.
Exactly. I'm not. Yeah.
But yeah.
Someone's decompression could be playing video games. I'm just saying. Whenever I think of decompression, for me it's like, okay, that should be a time where like I'm doing rarely anything, and that should be time where like I'm like reflecting on what happened throughout the day or what I should be doing next or stuff like that. So yeah.
This is what it was. I got it. Like for guys, we're not just gonna like. I guess I will. I've been doing a lot recently, but I think that's because I want like to still have that connection of like talking to my friends every day and all that stuff. Most of the time though, guys aren't just gonna call each other and talk. Just like talk for hours and hours, stuff like that. Like we'll text throughout the day, but it's usually just like stupid stuff where we're making fun of you for Wordle stuff or sending TikToks to each other. So I feel like at least for guys, it's almost always like sports or video games is just how they connect. So like they connect with their friends by playing sports with them for so long, but then once you're out of college or high school with them, you kind of lose that huge thing that tied you together for that long. And it's like, well, now what? And like if it moves into like where your huge connection with them is video games, you're talking to them every day, playing COD with them every single day, then they stop playing a little bit, then you're just kind of like, well, I want to talk to you, but like it's kind of tough now that we don't have the opportunity that we usually did.
Yeah.
So I think that's a tough part with like how I feel, I guess, about like friendships and stuff is like I constantly want something to be there pretty much. And I think that's part of that. Like if I'm just okay being there but doing absolutely nothing, is the introvert in me. I don't need to speak to you the entire time. I can just sit there and do absolutely nothing. You can be playing Forza, you could be playing Uno. I won't care. You could be doing homework. I'll just sit there while you do your homework. I don't care. So when I feel like when I'm by myself for too long, I just kind of get like in a bad mental state, I guess. And I'm just like, well, now what do I do? And I think that's probably why I've been really pushing, like talking to you guys all the time lately, like not to put down any of my friends right now, but like, so Andrew's in Europe and I hung out with him like every single day ever since we got out of school. So now he's gone. And then if you go from like Wilmington friends, you live in Akron. Tyler lives in Columbus. Abby's still at school. Adam's in Cincinnati. Nick's in Columbus. No one I actually talked to is in Dayton from school.
Yeah.
So that's all split. And then high school friends. So Andrew's in Europe. Joe works until like 7:30 every day because he's an accountant. It's tax season right now. So he's just busy. And then he has a girlfriend. So I get if he has to prioritize things sometimes. And I'm fine with that. And I know, like, I'm not saying this like, oh, they're crappy friends. And then Jameson also has to work, but he works at a restaurant. So he does like night shifts. So when I get off work, he's just now leaving or something like that sometimes.
Yeah.
And then Michael, answer your phone. He finally answered my FaceTime today. So that was good. It's fun to talk to him. But yeah, I think like for me, I've been pushing that a lot just because so much recently, I'm just kind of like, I come home from work and then I'm like, I was like, oh, well, no plans. I lose the motivation to do things really quickly for that stuff. That's why I think I haven't worked out in like 2 weeks. It's because I just get home and I'm like, oh, I have nothing to do. I guess I'll just sit in front of my computer all day. But yeah, I think I lost my thought there, but yeah.
No, I totally agree. I wouldn't say I don't mind. I don't want to say I don't mind being alone, but I like talking to you guys, all the time. it's great stuff. But yeah, I totally agree. You know, it's interesting. I talked to a lot of my high school friends. Obviously, my Wilmington group is pretty small, so I'm pretty much in the same boat you are there. But yeah, it's been good. It's been good to keep connect. But I'm not like I don't need to. I don't want to say I don't need to talk to people, but you know, I'm not. I would say I'm in a different boat there. Like, I don't mind talking to people, but like, I'm fine if I don't have to. You know, and I guess that's really the introvert in me too. It's like I don't need to talk to anybody.
No,
But
I agree with you. Yeah, it makes sense.
but like I will like I like talking to you guys. So yeah, there's a it's interesting.
Well, I was also like, as you were saying, I was thinking like I always said, like my mental health was like at its highest, like early quarantine stuff and all that.
Yeah.
And like I know my parents, like they were literally in the same house as me the entire time, but like until I barely saw them. I saw them like once or twice a day, like when I ate dinner with them. And then if I went down and saw them, and like when I got a snack. I never really went down and like talked to them that often. Um, so it wasn't like I just constantly always had someone there. Like I was like they were, but like I didn't treat it like it was that. So it wasn't that. I think it was that I like in that moment I finally hit the balance of like I'm not pushing myself too hard at anything. I'm spending a ton of time talking to my friends because the moment I would wake up, someone was already on Xbox and I was there to talk to them. And then the moment someone else got off for dinner, someone else was there. And then the moment that happened, I had someone else there. So like it was
Yeah.
almost always lined up because no one else was doing anything else. Like, what were you gonna do? Like, go read a book? You couldn't do anything.
Hmm.
Um, and then I finally like I had my hours to myself where I was just doing whatever I wanted. So I think that was like I finally because like that was technically I was by myself that entire time. Like those 2 months right there, I was practically by myself the entire time, but I felt great. And I think it was because I still hit that balance. It's like I understood, like, all right, I can't see them. I'll just adjust, whatever. I'll talk to them every day. Doesn't matter. Um,
Yeah.
and then I think towards the end of quarantine, where we were about to move in for senior year in the fall, was when I was just like, I need to get out of this house. I'm going crazy right now. Like, I've only had myself practically for like 5 straight months. I'm gonna punch myself in the head. I can't do this. I'm getting tired of myself. Um, but then yeah, we moved in, blah blah blah. I hang out with you guys every day. That was fun.
Yeah. It's
So
great.
now it's again just trying to find that balance. And I think
Yeah.
head I have it. I just won't ever do it because I'm just lazy. But what I want to do is like right after work. And this would mean I have to start bringing clothes with me though and stuff like that. Because like I made my schedule before one time. It was like Mondays, I'm gonna go out and play soccer. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, I'm gonna work out. Thursdays, I'll take off. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, workout. Actually, I think I said take Tuesdays off too, because Tuesdays at the gym, like everybody and their mom goes. So Tuesdays and Thursdays I take off. That would be my plan.
Hmm.
I've done that once. I've done that weekly routine once, and I've had it set for like a month and a half. But I think what I want to start doing is like just straight from work, going somewhere that's not my house, and then just like sitting down and just like taking an hour to myself, just like doing something in that journal or just chilling for like an hour. That's not where I go home and then there's TVs everywhere, there's an Xbox, there's whatever there is. And then from that, probably going to work out and then coming back, and either getting food on the way home or cooking, and then I have the rest of the night to myself to do what I want. Because the issue I have, like I get home, I sit down for like an hour, and then it's almost 6 o'clock pretty much, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
6. If I go out now, I'm not gonna be back till 8, and then I'll have to do another thing, and it's like 9, and then I'm like, well, if like 10:30 or 11 is the time I want to wrap up, like what's the point?
Yeah. I totally agree there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's good. But you know, I guess now the issue is always doing it. You know, that's the issue. But no, I think that's great. think once it gets nice out, I think my mood will kind of change. Like right now, I despise the cold in winter. So hopefully, once summer comes around, spring, summer, to be a little bit nicer, you can just kind of go outside and just kind of chill and do stuff. But yeah, I totally understand what you mean by that.
So yeah, that start of this year, I started like to challenge for myself because I'm almost convinced I have commitment issues at this point. That might be a different back onto the Michael's relationship advice topic. I'm not sure. But I was gonna take a mirror selfie every single day to see if I could truly do it. I failed big time. It's February. I did really good. I was like the first 26 days of January, every single day was a mirror selfie. Then I missed like one weekend because I didn't do anything because that was the weekend Andrew got COVID, so I had to quarantine. So I literally didn't I sat in this chair like the entire weekend. So I missed that weekend. Then I caught back up, did the next day and everything. And then I think since February started, I've done like 2. I have a folder of it. So we're currently 55 days into the year. I've done 33. So yeah, missed big time there. So I think that I have proved myself. I might have a commitment issue.
Yeah.
So I think, starting big things with my life is like, oh, that's a great idea. It's like you get those late night thoughts where you're just sitting there thinking that you're laying in bed and you're like, I'm gonna turn my life around tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then you wake up the next day and you're like, I hate myself. You're just standing in the shower. You have work in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting because, I look at things like I'm passionate about, and it's like, dude, why can I not be passionate about doing that? You know what I mean? Like I can, there's some things that I like to do that I'd like to do, and I'm just like, why can't I put that effort, the same amount of effort and energy I'm putting into that, into this other thing that's probably a little more important? I don't know. It's just interesting how it works like that, but I don't know.
Like with this last year of school, like when I would edit the soccer videos, like for the soccer team, do like highlight videos and stuff like that, I put so much time into that. Like they asked me to do it, I was on it like right away, getting stuff done, getting videos together, downloading things, doing little, making things to hit on the beat or whatever. And then like my classes roll around and I'm like, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
But like that's the reason I was at school, was like I'm getting a diploma. But then I was like, oh, I can make video fun. Let's do that. Because I think that was goes back a little bit to like, I'm fully okay just doing YouTube stuff on the side for literally no gain besides it makes me happy. Like I genuinely enjoy editing videos for some reason. It's weird because it's insanely tedious sometimes. But like it's fun. It's something that I enjoy doing. So I think that's why I enjoy doing that. It's not an issue to me. I don't even think of it really. Now I will say I do push off editing this podcast every single week. I'm pushing the deadline every time. But that's because I think I'm currently in my space of like, oh man, everything's a chore pretty much. I had piles of like clean clothes all over my floor. Months. I think it was like a month and a half probably of laundry I just never folded. And I would just pick up clothes. I finally folded them. I cleaned my room. I made my bed. So at that point, that's like the bare minimum, I know, but like it's something, it gets you started at least. So I think hopefully I can use that to kind of push myself a little bit, start getting into, just a more of a routine, finding more time for myself and doing things that I like. And hopefully, doing this and putting it out on the internet for millions of people to hear, it'll help in the back of my mind be like, all right, yeah, I've said it. Now I've got to do it.
Yeah, for sure. No, there's things like that in my life too, where I want to do them, and I do, and they're really, really fun. But like, I just know in the back of my mind, like, this is gonna probably lead to nothing. So it's like, I don't, I don't want to say I don't want to put any effort into it, but it just sucks. Cause I'm like, man, like I really want to do this, but it's like I know like it has no gain for anything besides just like I'm doing it. I don't know. It's so
I mean, I get that. Like if this podcast was bringing in money, if a YouTube channel was bringing in money, you wouldn't be seeing me putting an Apex picture as my stream title, as my stream picture, and then I'm on there playing GeoGuessr. I'd be going in. Like I would put genuine full effort into it, but I'm just doing what I want to do with it. I'm just gonna like, if I want to put an Apex picture there on there and go play COD, I'll do that. Like, what's it gonna
yeah.
harm? Like, it's just I'm having fun with it. Is how I see it.
Yeah, and that I think that's a big thing too. As long as you're having fun with it, if it's what you want to do, I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, so
Like, I know it's not going anywhere. I could care less if it goes somewhere or not. But I mean, it's what I enjoy doing. I'm sure the person that would come at me and like make fun of me for it would absolutely love to have that life too. Of
yeah,
like being a famous person that can stream. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. You can go ahead and keep watching me. I don't know. I'm having
yeah,
fun. You're not.
yeah.
So I
I
see it.
love it. Like this for general. I know like you do all the editing stuff, and I appreciate that and whatnot. But like just doing the podcast in general and just talking with you and doing all this has been something that I never thought I would actually do, and it's been awesome. I love doing it every Thursday. So
I think a good part of what we're doing here with it is that we really just jump straight into it. And like, because we talked about it like a month before we actually did it. And it was just like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. And then I was like,
yeah,
no, let's actually just do it. I'm like, next week,
yeah.
I got the stuff for it. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was just like finally taking that leap, doing that. Um, and I think, see, how am I wording it? Not that we don't care. It's just that like, um, I don't
Doing it
know.
our own way.
I guess, yeah. Like we're not like a normal podcast. I guess
Yeah.
we're better.
Just doing what we want to do, I mean,
Yeah.
talking about what we want to talk about. I mean, if nobody listens, then so be it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't really care.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's that kind of like, that's another thing I'm trying to work on too, was like, I feel like I used to be really, really good at just not caring about what people think. Um, I don't even know what happened. I think it was mostly like in high school, towards the end of high school, and now in college. As much as I can say, I really don't care what you think. I mean, it's still like, I mean, it depends on the person, I guess. Like if the person's involved in my life, I probably care what they think. Um,
Yeah.
but the random people like that commented on my Prime video and they were like, "Yeah, this stuff actually sucks. I don't know why you're saying it's good." I could care less, bud. Thanks for giving me the like and the comment and the multiple views from you rewatching it and commenting on my video. I don't care.
Yeah.
I didn't make Prime.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a future sponsor of it. No. But no, I guess I think also the way that I work with that stuff of like, not caring about what people think. I'm more of a person that just lets things, whatever it goes, you go on, go on. You can keep doing it. I don't care. And then at a certain point, it just hits like the last little push gets you over the edge. Um, and Adam has seen this a few times. We clashed heads a little bit when we lived together because he is a guy that will just give you little pokes here and there, everywhere, and he means nothing by it at all. But that's just how he is as a person. Like, he likes poking little fun at people. It is fun sometimes. But then there's that one where I've already, because of the way I am, of me just letting it pile up and not doing anything about it. When that last one comes in and pushes me over, it's as simple as someone just going like, "You stupid," and I'm just like, "All right, I'm going to yell at you in about 20 seconds if you don't walk out of my room."
Yeah.
So, and then, I mean, that's also just different personalities that, once you live together, it's a little tough. I'm sure once I live with Andrew in a little bit, we'll have our differences, but we'll see. Just kidding.
Yeah.
It'll be perfect.
No, that's great. I mean, makes sense.
But yeah, that's another thing. I'm trying to get better with just not caring about what people think. Not totally, because I still like, even with this, like, I mean, I know we don't have an actual audience besides like the people we like, hey, go listen to this, pretty much.
Yeah.
But like if they give feedback or anything like that, give options, like I'm not just gonna be like, no, I'm gonna do it my way. Whatever you say, it doesn't matter because you're not me or you're not Noah. Like I'm not gonna be like that. Yeah.
No, that's right. Yeah, no, I know I've gotten, I guess constructive criticism. I would just call it feedback, basically from some friends, like, little things like this, and then, okay, like I can understand that. I could see how I could see how you could see that from an outside point of view, not actually doing it. So, and yeah, so that's been good. But no, I totally agree. So.
I think that's really what I wanted to get at today.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I didn't mind it. I coming into it, I knew nothing, and I think it's kind of good to. I think it's good. I wouldn't say segue from music, but kind of, sorta. I think music can motivate you in a way, not maybe for life, but it has some sort of connection. But kind of getting a little bit deeper here today. I mean, which is fine. I certainly enjoyed it. Kind of just talking off of my head. I didn't really know what was happening, but no, it was great. Um, drive and motivation is something that is something that everybody has. Everybody, I feel like, is sort of kind of different. But no, it was great to talk about it. So.
I mean, this is a topic I've wanted to actually, go into more for years now. Now I've finally given myself the opportunity to do it, and I'm glad that I finally talked it out with somebody, got to hear their side of it, so I could, then think back on what I was thinking, like, oh, find some different perspectives for it. But yeah, like Noah said, drive and power and all of that. It's a really important thing in your life. I think trying to find what really motivates you, what drives you, just like, I guess, intrinsic. That's the word I couldn't think of for the last hour. Yeah.
Intrinsic and intrinsic and X.
Doesn't matter. That's all I know is intrinsic.
Intrinsic motivation. Yeah.
Yes. Finding that stuff is big, and it can really, really help you out in your life, I think. And then just push you on to finding your passions. And then even when you find those passions, actually pursuing them and finally doing them, like we talked about a little bit, and not, just sitting around and not in like a non-decompressing way. Like you could, like, sitting around and just wasting time. Yeah. So I think that's important. And at the end of the day, if you do that, I think, mental health follows that straight away. It immediately starts going up. Mental health is wealth. Is that the saying? It's not the saying. Health is wealth. Mental health, mental wealth, I guess. I don't know. I guess. I don't know. Yeah. But either way, mental health above everything else. I don't know. Unless FIFA comes calling, then prioritize a little bit. FIFA, then mental health. Because when FIFA's involved, there is no mental health.
Nope. None.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully you guys get something out of this. And if not, analyze a little bit better and then get something out of it. Because I know we're not experts. It's not my topic. I didn't go to school for psychology or anything. All I've done is just watch shows and live life of a stupid soccer player and eat Doritos. So that's my backstory of how I got to this point. Be able to tell you that you need to fix up and fix on your mental health and figure out what's going on in your brain.
Yes, a disclaimer, we are not psychologists.
Not at all. Well, either way, hopefully you get something out of it. Let us know, talk to us, drop us a comment or something like that about what you thought about it, what kind of stuff drives you, how you think about what stuff drives us, if you have any, something you want to bounce off of us with it. I don't know. We're open to a lot of stuff with it. So we'll catch you next time. Peace.